What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Wednesday, May 5th to all of you. Thank you for watching us right here on Pub Sports Radio, betting with the bag in business. Now, we are back to our original YouTube page, so there will be some time before everybody figures that out because we've been on the Pub Sports Radio live page since our inception here with Pub Sports Radio. So the numbers will be a little bit smaller off the top, and it'll all come around soon. The most important thing is we have you here right now. So shout out to all the cappers in the chat ready to get to work. We're coming off a nice day, 8 wins and 4 losses, plus 3.85 units. MLB was interesting because we lost 2 games with pitching changes. I thought we were going to sweep those 2 games. It was just a 1-1, so it didn't hurt us too bad. We pushed our over in White Sox Reds. So we went 3-1 plus 2 units. I thought we were on our way to a big night. In NBA, we went 2-1 plus 0.9 units. NHL 3-2 plus 0.95 units. Over our 8-4 plus 3.85 units. Taint play of the day was another glorious casher. Dutch Boy Fresh, Skee Profit both came in and gave us beautiful cashers. So it was a nice day. It was a great start. And Tuesdays have been lackluster for me so far in the last little while. So I was pleased that we got off to a nice start. Shout out to everybody joining us. Brian Watson in the house, predictions guy. You're a good man. You're a good man. Viper NB. Jacksonville Zoe says, back to the original PSR channel. Very nice. Let's make some cash today. Yes, those of you who joined us when at Pub Source Radio when our show moved over to the other channel, hit the subscribe button here. This is where we will be from now on. It might take a little bit of time for everyone to jump on board, but that's all good. Everything will be figured out probably by the end of the week here. Matty Ice started the Taint play of the day with an easy casher. Red Sox minus 1.5. The Tigers put up some runs there in the back half of the game, but not enough. Nilo, yes, but you are here, my friend. That's what matters. Thank you for joining us, Nilo, my guy. We got Jason Albert ready to go, giving a shout out to Matty Ice, who is awesome. Just putting money in our pockets, just improving our lives. That's what Matty Ice does. North Ender ready to go. Says, glad I checked this channel. Hopefully, we'll probably have lower numbers today because of it, but it's all good. Thank you so much for joining us, North Ender, my guy. And I don't have sports insights up. I just realized that right now. So this has been going on for a long time. This MLB, NBA, and NHL going on at the same time. Usually, we get the playoffs after 12 days. Usually, it's from March 28th to about April 10th or 11th. And this year, because of the pushback of the seasons, we've been in this very, very difficult stretch now for over a month, and it's very tough, dude. It's very tough preparing. There's Dan Kelly ready to go. Puzzler in the house. Jason Falk ready to go. Lee Fedorchak, great day yesterday. Lee, David Sharp. Looks like we got people. Okay, we're coming over. It's building. People are starting to see that we're on this channel now. North Ender says, thanks for talking me into the Devils over, Jimmy. I hit that game 2 ways. My first period over parlay I would have swept NHL. Yeah, first period was slow. That's what angered me so much about NHL last night was it would have been a really nice day had I just take the Flyers, Penguins first period under, not the full game. You knew there was going to be intensity off the hop, but can you trust the Flyers to play intense for 60 minutes? And the answer is no, and that was a mistake. Razor Sharp Picks in the house says, let's win some cash today. Razor Sharp Picks will be starring in his Thoroughbred handicapping show this evening. I believe it starts at 7 p.m. Eastern. I will jump on as soon as I get the kids down for bed. So for sure, the last 4 races of the night, get the kids down for bed, pour myself a beverage, and handicap the horses. I hope to do that in that order. There's Jared JB88 ready to go. Jason Albert says, Islanders crushed my parlay. Yeah, that was extremely disappointing. And they've got to be very concerned. That they weren't able to step it up. There's a lot to talk about, and it's already 11:08. Jesus, there's so much to talk about in NHL with the Tom Wilson situation. Everyone asks me what I think about the Tom Wilson situation. And I think that the people who are whining about it are little bitches. I really do. Look, I got pummeled when I played hockey. My right shoulder pops in and out nonstop. and I got to pop it back into place. Concussions. I got pulverized in the Penticton Panthers rookie camp. I just, look, hockey's a tough sport. So man the fuck up. There's a reason why George Peros didn't suspend Tom Wilson. Keep your head up. Get ready for a punch in the face. That's hockey. It's a violent sport. And if you bitch about the violence, go watch tennis. We don't want you, and we don't want to hear your insights. So every team in the league wants Tom Wilson to be doing that for their team. All right. Puzzler says, I can't remember if I've recommended Pink Kush for brunch yet to find it. There we go. Jason Turgi, Jeremy Miller in the house. Great to see you, Jeremy. Northander giving out respect to the OGs that were just handing out winners all day yesterday. Their slats 45, Canes plus 3.5 goals. That was such a smart move. I guess I thought Mrazek might have a good game. We did cash on the Hurricanes minus 1.5, but Jason Folks says, I'd watch you on the Lifetime channel if I'd have to. You're a good man. There's Paco Healy ready to go. All the guys are ready to go. Earl Sports Bets in action says, is Zavante's perfect of the NHL? No, he's not. Yes, I know he's been suspended 7 times. Look, Tom Wilson is a highly paid star in the NHL. A highly paid star that everybody wants on their hockey team. And every hockey team is better if they have him. Fonte's perfect is not that guy. I don't think. Look, everybody's very different. I heard both sides, but I heard all of the tough guys say that, look, that's hockey. And I heard all of the babies, all the people who didn't get pummeled. Look, if you didn't get beaten up every time you stepped on the ice, then, yeah, that's scary. Fuck off. There's don't ask, don't tell. Ain't gonna hurt nobody. So get on down. Says don't ask, don't tell. All right, we got to get to work. We have so much work to do. You guys, Joe Yurkovich coming off a 3-0 perfect MLB day. Great work. You guys got to keep me at a brisk pace. I need to be thinking Peter Loshak in my head because this is about as difficult as is there a fly right here? Is that where you're gonna? This is about as difficult as a day gets. There's Dommy Gun, Ricci, just my 2 cents, Sammy. North. Slots 45 says North Ender Hawks have serious goaltender defense issues. Canes are very dangerous. Canes are an extremely dangerous hockey team. Razor Sharp Pick says, can't wait. Popping off at 7:30. Okay, God, I'm going to lose my shit. I don't have time to hit and smack a fly around. Justin Folk says, Fading Van was very profitable. I didn't get nervous. It was 1-0, 33 minutes into the game, and I was like, look, this Oilers are just going to take it to them. All right, let's get to work. Right now, there's Mr. Gokster. Mr. Gokster will be live on the show tomorrow. Akbar Saloev, great to see you. Rob Miller says, spot on, Jimmy. It's hot. It's fucking hot. Look, there's been times when Tom Wilson's done things that have been really bad. Look, he's just sending a message to a team in his division. Watch out for him at all times. Be scared out there. Shaking your boots. Slatsy says, what a laugh. Rangers calling for Paris to be fired. It was ridiculous. If you think he's making a decision, you're sadly mistaking the answers to the NHL. That being said, I'd love to see Wilson catch a beating. Look, I get that. Yeah. Look. We all watched Simmons of the Leafs beat up on Alex Edler for that neon Hyman. I had no problem with that. Edler's never fought anybody in his whole career. Never fought anybody. But yeah, he has to answer because he needed Hyman. So Simmons beat him up. Should Simmons be fighting a guy who's never fought in his entire career? I don't know. I don't know what the answer to that is, but it's hockey, and it's tough, and it's scary. Earl Sports is a Chase David Alicia, great to see you. Okay. Don Ricci looking at and then everyone's sitting now. The Rangers are a must fade. Okay, let's get to work right now. Paco Healy going big. I love it with a little tech in the morning. Okay, so I'm going to need your help to keep this a brisk pace. I'm going to think of my our mentor, Peter Lodels Loshak, the legend, Peter Loshak. Brisk pace. Brisk pace. Let's get to work. We start at 12:35 p.m. Eastern, and we are looking strong in MLB. Let's just do a quick recap of yesterday's action because it was fascinating. And what's happening now in MLB, and this could change. And those of you who've been with me for a long time, you know that baseball, if the Yankees are Pedro Martinez's daddy, MLB is mine. And I feel more confident this year than I've ever felt. And I'm capping it a little differently, but all that confidence can go away very, very quickly. We are sitting 78 and 63. We're hitting at 55.3%. Again, the VIG is too high at minus 114 is our average line, but we're plus 5.41 units with an ROI of plus 3.84%. We cashed the Dodgers-Chicago first 5 over 3 very easily. We would have cashed game 1 of the Giants-Colorado over 7.5, but it was voided with the pitching change. The White Sox-Cincinnati over 9 was a push. The chat was leading me in the right direction there. You guys told me how well Dylan Cease is pitching. It doesn't matter that he goes out on the road. We knew that Hoffman was going to get touched. I should have just taken the White Sox, or at least the White Sox team total over. Instead, I took the full game over 9. That was a push. Braves, first 5 minus a half. That was fortunate. That was a 5th inning run that got us the payday. And so let's, should be aware that it was fortunate. Cash with a taint play today. Red Sox minus 1.5 plus 100. Cleveland, Kansas City under 9 was voided with the pitching change. And you guys, again, were trying to lead me in the right direction. You said take the first 5. You said do not trust the Royals bullpen. And had I had this game not been voided with the pitching change, I would have lost it in the 7th inning. So again, it's the chat and it's listening that's leading the way. And then Toronto, Oakland, first 5 over 5 at plus 100. I ended up taking the 5 instead of the 4.5. 4.5 was minus 130. What I could have done when it went to 5 was stayed off of it, but I was quite confident in it. A scored 4 runs in the first 5. J scored 0 runs. And the taint is in. I am sorry, you guys. Sorry, I missed that. I was waxing poetic. We have the taint is in. Taint is in. I repeat, taint is in. All right. Taint is in. Tigers, first 5 plus a half at plus 100. This is not going to be a popular play, but Tigers hitters have hit Perez, and Perez at home has been terrible. Mize better on the road. Red Sox have not seen him. Yes, Matty Ice is letting go of what the Tigers are doing to left-handed pitching, because I said, look how hard they hit left-handed pitching last year. How could they keep hitting it so poorly? And nothing has changed. They are now hitting left-handed pitching even worse. I guess I'll just pull it up. But they're now hitting 170 with a 467 OPS versus left-handed pitching, which is just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay, taint is in. Let's get to work. Thank you guys so much. Sorry about the confusion switching channels. There will be no confusion moving forward after a few days. We'll all get used to being on the original channel. CT Base likes the Pirates first 5 to add to the first 5 dog looks today. I'm on the Rangers first 5 at plus 140. So I feel that. And there is Boston Nick in the house. We got Jose on the 1s and 2s producing the show. Thank you for all your hard work, Jose. Much love to you, my friend. And let's get to work. So White Sox, Reds. Let's pull up the money lines and totals here in MLB. And if I'm not done all these games in 43 minutes, we have a problem. So let's focus on the 43 minutes. Puzzler talking about rain. I've got all of the weather forecasts, so we are good to go. Okay, White Sox, Reds. Keuchel, Gray. This total opened up at 8.5. It's moved down to 8. Cincinnati and Sonny Gray opened up minus 122. At Pinnacle, they're now at minus 130. We're at Great America Ballpark in Cincinnati, Ohio. And we'll go right to batter versus pitcher data and then go into the other breakdowns. Against Keuchel, the Reds are hitting 228 with a 618 OPS. Against Sonny Gray, the White Sox are hitting 260 with a 739 OPS. So not bad numbers here. And Johnny K says, nice NHL card. Johnny, I'm going to need help with it because I just didn't get to put enough time into it. I have made 3 bets in MLB already. We'll get to those. 56 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 11 miles per hour, out to right center. Keuchel, 1-1, 4.65 ERA, 1.32 whip, 31 innings, 30 hits, 16 Ks, 11 walks, and 3 home runs. Johnny K says Reds and under. Viper MB says the total's gone over in 6 of Cincinnati's last 8 games at home. In Keuchel's last start, he went 6 innings, allowed 4 hits, 4 earned runs, 0 home runs, 4 walks, 4 Ks, and a 5-3 loss at home versus Cleveland. You may remember that game. We confidently took the first 5 over 3. It was Keuchel versus Bieber. We got to that in the 3rd inning. We confidently took the team total over for the Indians. 3.5 full game. It was 3.5 for the full game, and they got the 4 earned runs within 3 innings on Keuchel. Sonny Gray, 0-2, 5.93 ERA, 1.76 whip, 13 2/3, 16 hits, 23 Ks, 8 walks, 3 home runs allowed. In his last start, he looked good. It was an 8-0 loss, but he went 5 2/3, allowed just 2 earned runs, 4 hits, 1 home run, 3 walks, 11 Ks in the matchup with Kershaw. White Sox versus righties, 247, 712 OPS. Reds versus lefties, just 236, 696 OPS. White Sox bullpen, 4.41 ERA, 1.30 whip. Reds bullpen, 5.76 ERA, 1.42 whip. And Puzzler just took the over 8 at -110, and that does make sense to me. We have a Turnsey play of the day here, the Winnipeg Jets. Turnsey, Winnipeg Jets here at +105. Let's get that here. Thank you for sharing your plays of the day, Turnsey. We do need to come up with a name for it, though. We need something catchy. Now, Taint has become extremely popular, not because of the little flap of skin between the anus and the ball sack that some people believe men don't have. I'm not one of those. All right. So I can understand that first, or I can understand what Puzzler is doing. I am not going to do it, but I can understand. Now, Puzzler, a better way of doing that would probably do a Lodell's Loshak second half over. But I'm a little uncomfortable here. Ooh, play of the day, Daddy. Oh, the Dylan Turnsey perennium play of the day. There's Kev Riley in the house. Great to see that, Kev, my man. All right. Let's go. It's okay. Look, we know the numbers are going to be smaller today because we switched back to the old channel. Let's just focus on us, focus on the capping, not let it affect us at all. So this is going to be a stay off spot for me. The only thing that I would have some interest in is the first 5 under. The first 5 under I would have some interest in. Why don't we just take a look at it quickly here? First 5 under is sitting at 4, but it is 11 miles per hour out to right center at the Great American Ballpark, and I don't want that. K-Prop TJ says, if you're on the Sox, full game is a play. Better odds since he used their better pen guys yesterday with Hoffman's short start. Just focus on the chin rest of Perennium. Perennium play of the day is really good. Okay, no move for me in the afternoon game. I'm not going to reach for afternoon action. That has been a mistake that I've made year after year after year. Let's go to 3:10 p.m. Next up, San Francisco Giants at Colorado Rockies, 18-12, 8-9 on the road. The Colorado Rockies, 11-19, 9-8 at home. One thing that happens, and we all know it, when you are winning, you make smarter decisions. When you are losing, you take bigger risks. I've been doubling up very rarely. I did a double up today, but I've been doubling up very rarely. There's been no triple ups and no quadruple ups. I think there's been actually 2 or 3 triple ups all this season, but no quadruple ups. And I'm not reaching for afternoon action. We're in Coors Field in Denver, Colorado, 61 Fahrenheit, 9 miles per hour in. And we have a look coming up in 7 minutes. 7 minutes from our R2-D2 Finland. There's Verl video. Verl, we've missed you. Went with Finnish Hockey Liga bronze game Tappara to win. That's plus 212 and over 4.5 goals at what's a 1.79? So what, like minus 128? All right. Colorado to score first, and Colorado first 5 money line for Mr. Gogster. And David Trapp says this game is so much like yesterday's. Giants hit Gray at a good clip. Rockies hit Webb at a good clip, but small sample size. He's on the over 10. All right, let's break this down with the moving forward with knowing how Sharpie wants to play it and how Sharpie wants to play it and Mr. Gogster wants to play it. And now the freshest look is in from our Dutch boy, Fresh. Over 24.5 rebounds and assists. Oh, that just makes so much sense. That just makes so much sense, Dutchy. Let's just pop this up above the Wizards game. Here we go. All right, that will lead us into our Wizards capping. Earl Sports is on the over 10 as well. Okay. Let's get in this and let's move fast here. Logan Webb, 1-2, 4.13 ERA, 1.52 WHIP, 28 in the third, 28 Ks, 11 walks, 3 home runs. In his last start, I thought he was going to get touched by the Padres. This was a pretty bad loss because I had a very good day that ended with 2 losses. First 5, heavily juiced, -half favorites. And the Padres were one of them. And the Padres did get 2 runs in the 6th inning, but the 5th inning was a loser. His last start, he went 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 0 home runs, 1 walk, 4 Ks against a pretty tough Padres lineup. Johnny Gray, 3-2, 3.15 ERA, 1.19 WHIP, 34 in the third, 30 Ks, 14 walks, 3 home runs. In his last start, he went 6 innings, 9 hits, 4 earned runs, 0 home runs allowed, 1 walk, 3 Ks, 7-2 loss at Arizona. Giants hitting 224, 705 OPS versus righties. That number's moving up. There's good. Nice to see you. Good. Yeah, we've been moving all over the place, but this will be our home. This is our home. Good, and thank you so much for joining us. This will be our home. So for the last month, we've been on Pub Sports Radio Live, but right here on Pub Sports Radio, this will be our home from now on. From now on. Okay. Rockies versus righties, 243, 721 OPS. Giants bullpen has not been looking very good of late. 4.69 ERA, 1.29 WHIP. Rockies bullpen, 5.40 ERA, 1.50 WHIP has been looking very bad. Anthony Mastronardi, yes, thank you for coming over to this channel. Apologies for all of that, but everybody will be on board by the end of the week, I'm sure, knowing that we'll be over here from now on. All right. Let's go to full game money lines and totals, and then let's go to batter versus pitcher. And here we go. Full game. This total opened up at 10.5 and has moved to 10. Again, we saw a lot of scoring in that first game. And let's not let recency bias move us towards the over. Let's let the numbers move us towards the over. Against Logan Webb, they've hit him hard. 359 with a 931 OPS. Against John Gray, they've hit him hard. 320, 885 OPS. Now, the weather is 9 miles per hour in, which isn't great. Yeah, anti-mask. I had my bet voided with the pitching change, so I didn't get to enjoy that. David Chubb says batter versus pitchers, why I'm on the over. Both have good track records versus opposing pitchers. Yeah, no, we just went over that. I hear you, David. It makes sense to me. Now, it is moving day. So, is Posey going to be in the lineup? The over 10. Let's just see exactly when this moved towards the under at Pinnacle. So, Pinnacle opened it at 10. Why do I have it opening at 10.5? Who's my Pinnacle opened it at 10, and then it moved to 10.5 last night after the games. And then back to 10. I must not be signed in, and I'm not. Sorry. All right, here we go. So there's just been a 5-cent move towards the under at Pinnacle. Oh, yeah, David Sharp's right. Posey didn't play the second half of back-to-back yesterday. Yeah, it turns him, Mastro is a beast. Okay, so I get why you guys are on the over. I completely get it. Let me just look at baseball data one last time. I know I said I was going to have a keep a brisk pace. I have to look twice. So who hits Gray? Belt hits him hard. Crawford hits him enough. Posey doesn't even hit him. You don't even need him in the lineup. He's 3 for 14 with 3 singles. Longoria is 1 for 9. He's hitting well right now. CT Bay says wind blowing in is not a big deal. In Colorado, park is huge, doubles galore. All right, I'm just going to leave that as a lean right now. Mr. Gokster's on Colorado first 5. And same with K-Prop TJ. Those of you who aren't following our guy, Lowbagger K-Prop TJ on Twitter, it's a mistake. He's absolutely spectacular, and he's just dominating MLB right now. Let's move on to Baltimore Orioles at Seattle Mariners. Orioles are 14-6, 10-6 on the road at the Mariners, 17-14, 9-7 at home. We're at T-Mobile Park in Seattle, Washington. You know what? To be honest, I was trying hard to find out the roof information. I couldn't get it. There's Mark Skillman. Thank you for joining us. 62 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 5 miles per hour in. We have John Means versus Yusei Kikuchi. Kikuchi coming off that spectacular start against the Astros. This total is sitting at 7.5. Means opened up as a slight favorite, and money pouring in on Kikuchi and the Mariners. Pouring in on Kikuchi and the Mariners at TTJB32. North Ender says, I like the Cooch today. Again, I don't want to fall into what I feel could be a bit of a trap here. Do we trust that last start? 7 innings, 1 hit, 2 walks, 7 Ks. Joe Yurkovich has Orioles first 5. I mean, I really liked what we saw from Means last start. It was the second time facing the A's in 5 days. He went 7 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 home runs allowed. There were just solo shots, 1 walk and 9 Ks against an A's team that's raking right now. I was extremely impressed with that. I expect the roof to be closed, but it is 62 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 5 miles per hour, and it's not that cold. John Means 3-0, 1.70 ERA, 0.84 whip, 37 innings, 38 Ks, 10 walks, 5 home runs. The Orioles hit lefties much harder. Much harder than the Mariners. 271, 733 OPS. Mariners versus lefties, 206, 688 OPS. Orioles bullpen 3.12 ERA, 1.19 whip. Mariners bullpen 2.56 ERA, 1.04 whip. Joe Yurkovich says Seattle is last in hitting at home. CT Bay says Means first 5 and giving me plus money for 18 months. North Ender got Cooch at minus 107 this morning. You handled that beautifully. Spenny Penny Bombs joining us. Great to see you, Spenny. David Sharp says, don't let last game change your opinion on a player who's been a career fade in Kikuchi. Viper giving us great stuff, saying the total's gone under in 15 of Baltimore's last 19 games. And Matty Ice is on the full game under. Let's go to baseball data right now. Against Means, these Mariners are hitting 242 with a 760 OPS, and only 2 batters have seen Kikuchi, Mancini and Severino. Mancini does have a home run. He's 1 for 2. K-Prop says, my only concern is Baltimore can't hit either. They can hit lefties, 271, a high average, just not a ton of power, 733 OPS. I think that the plus line on Means, first 5, is a pretty nice spot to be in. I really do. And let's just see what it is here. Money line, first 5, and what the movement has been. Here we go. Wow. It's just a pick 'em. Okay. I thought maybe we were getting. Oh, no, shit. That's great. Sorry. No, it is still almost a pick 'em. No, it's not quite a pick 'em. Minus 105. All right. Yeah, I don't have a plus, Dave. I don't have a plus, David. Okay, I'm going to be on the Baltimore Orioles first 5. Let's see Kikuchi do that again. All right, let's move on here. 5:15 p.m. We're going to do this double dip right now. New York Mets at St. Louis Cardinals, Busch Stadium, St. Louis, Missouri. Mets are 11-12, 5-8 on the road. Cardinals are 17-12, 8-6 at home. We're at 66 Fahrenheit, clear, 6 miles per hour, sideways at Busch Stadium. We have Stroman going up against Kwang Young Kim. We move right to the market. We're going to go full game money lines and totals. And let's see what we are dealing with. We have this total opened up at 6, and that's where it stands now. We have Kim opening up at minus 105, 1 cent move. Actually, a couple cent moves towards the New York Mets and Marcus Stroman. Arthur Murray Meade Jr. is on that Baltimore under. CT Bays on these good young pitchers. His first 5 dogs means Means and Brubaker. And Mandy Ice says the first 5 over 3 looks so good here. The first 5s that have a 3 totals have been cashing for me. Again, though, I don't want to just hammer it blindly, but let's take a look now that Mandy Ice is on it. Stroman 3-2, 1.86 ERA, 0.93 WHIP, 29 innings, 23 K, 6 walks, 1 home run. In his last start, he went 5 strong, 3 hits allowed, 0 earned runs, 1 walk, and 8 Ks, and a 2-1 loss at the Phillies. I lost that bet. I was on him first 5. Kwang Young Kim, 1-0, 3.29 ERA, 1.32 WHIP, 13-2, 30, 16 Ks, 1 walk, 1 home run allowed. His last start was also against the Phillies. He went 5 innings, 7 hits, 1 earned run, 0 walks, 4 Ks, and a 4-3 extra inning win over the Phillies. The Mets are hitting 239, 735 OPS versus lefties. The Cards are hitting just 219, 680 OPS versus righties. Mets bullpen's been good and getting better and better. 3.63 ERA, 1.20 WHIP. Cards bullpen 3.83 ERA, 1.28 WHIP. Very interesting. Let's jump over to batter versus pitcher. Only 3 Cards have seen Stroman: Goldschmidt, Carpenter, and Arenado. They're hitting 2 for 11 off him with 2 singles. Only Albert Almora Jr. has seen Kwang Young Kim. Extremely interesting. And Boston Nick saying he's getting a 4 on the first 5. Let's see what we are getting on the first 5 here. We'll look at the market first 5. Yeah, I've got 4s. I got 4s across the board. I've got 4s. Stroman didn't look excellent in that last start. He looked okay. And you need 3 runs or lower to cash. CT basis, McNeil, different players, leadoff hitter. Mets about to start scoring. Anthony Mastroianni's lighter parlay, Bucks money line, Memphis money line, and Knicks money line. Oh, Taint is plus a half. What do I have down for the Taint? Oh my God! Did I not even? I put it on top of the game. It's all right. Okay, I know we got to move quickly. Let's make sure I've got Taint right, so I don't mess up sweet Taint. Yeah, first 5 plus a half of plus 100. Okay, so I don't know what to do here. I think that Kwang Young Kim will pitch well at home. And the Mets hit lefties better than the Cards hit righties. CT Bay says Stroman left with an injury might not be sharp today. Arthur Meade Jr. giving us the final score of Mets 5, Cardinals 3. I've got nothing for game 1 of the double dip. Do we have game 2 up? No. Oviedo versus undecided. So let's just bounce past it. What's happening, JT? Thank you for joining us. This is where we'll be from now on. The Pub Sports Radio original YouTube page. Sorry about the confusion, but this is where we'll be from now on. All right. David Sharp says this game I'm off. You can have a 1-1 game going to 5th. Both teams are not hitting. Neither have seen the other pitcher. First look advantage pitcher. I agree. First look advantage pitcher, and you're probably going to you might get a weaker lineup because it's game 1 of a double dip. But I didn't love what I saw at the Stro show last start. I was watching pretty closely. There's Fap win in the house. A double dip on Arizona today. And it is. It certainly is. Okay, let's – and K-Prop says, I agree. That's why I took the under 6. The under 6 in game 1. Because the Mets bullpen and Cards bullpen both have been quite strong of late. But I don't know about Strosho. If I had a free play, I would take that. All right, let's move on to 6:40 p.m. Eastern. Arizona Diamondbacks at Miami Marlins. Diamondbacks are 15-14, 9-9 on the road. Miami Marlins are 12-16, 5-7 at home. We're at Lone Depot Park in Miami, Florida. So I couldn't get the roof information. It's 82 Fahrenheit. It's nice. It's humid. The wind is 12 miles per hour in. And I don't know if the roof is what's going on there. If anyone can find that out, I tried. Luke Weaver going up against Pablo Lopez. We have this first 5 total opening up at 4. It's dropped to 3.5. Now, it was a juiced 4, so it's not a shock that's moved down to 3.5. But interesting. This total full game total opened up at 7.5. It's dropped to 7 at 75% of the books. Lopez and the Marlins opened up at minus 143. They're now at minus 139. Lone Depot Park. Luke Weaver, 1-2, 4.91 ERA, 1.29 whip, 25 2/3, 23 Ks, 9 walks, 5 home runs allowed. In his last start, he managed to go just 4 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 walks, and 4 Ks in a 5-3 win at home over the Rockies. Pablo Lopez, 0-2, 2.34 ERA, 1.10 whip, 34 2/3, 34 Ks, 10 walks, 3 home runs. He's just so good at home. And so far this year, he's been pretty good on the road. That was one of his best road performances of his career last out. He went 7 innings, allowing 6 hits, 0 earned runs, 2 walks, 2 Ks, and a 2-1 extra inning loss at Washington. The Diamondbacks are hitting 234, 706 OPS for righties. The Marlins are hitting just 217, 624 OPS. And they're badly missing Starlin Marte. They no longer have the speed at the top of the lineup in Jazz Chisholm or when Jazz is in the 9-hole turning the lineup over. He's leading the league in stolen bases before he went on the IL. The Diamondbacks bullpen is bad, 5.30 ERA, 1.47 whip. And Marlins bullpen, 3.69 ERA, 1.11 whip. And there we go. We have an early play from Razor Sharp Picks. Early play, $200 on White Sox Reds under 8 from our Razor Sharp Picks. Okay, so let's get back to this spot here, and let's go to batter versus pitcher, see if there's any data that can lead us into a direction. Against Weaver, the Marlins are hitting 278 with a 906 OPS, so a home run from Duvall, but that's his only hit in 7 at-bats, and doubles from Dickerson and Sierra. Against Lopez, they're hitting 230 with an 884 OPS, so they hit him. Interesting. But it's none of the big bats that have seen him. Billy Brisbane says Marlins have been hot. Luke Weaver looked a little more vulnerable, and Pablo Lopez is an ace. And there we go. Joey Work play of the day, and we are on it already. Beautiful. Nice to see. Good work getting that plus 105. It's minus numbers now at all the books, but just marginally minus. Oh, that's a good sign. Good sign that we're on the same side as Joey Work, star of the Work play of the day. David Trump says, I like me some Pablo Lopez. I'm on Marlins first. Marlins minus 1.5 plus 145. Arizona pen is garbage. It is garbage, but I think it balances out a little bit. Or does it balance out? Maybe it doesn't balance out. I was going to say maybe it balances out with how much stronger the Diamondbacks hitting is. And it does concern me a little bit. That Diamondbacks lineup is quite a bit stronger than the Marlins lineup, which makes me almost want to lean on first 5. So right now, the full game is between minus 139 and minus 148. First 5, I can get minus 150, which means minus a half is probably minus 120. Just a lot of juice. I want Pablo Lopez at home. I think Luke Weaver did not look good in his last start against Colorado. Miami Marlins first 5 minus a half is my plan at this point. Is my plan. So I'll just put an asterisk with a question mark. Slatsy's going with a goal for Cole Caulfield at plus 325. And Shabbat out for the Sens. All right, let's move on here to my double dip. Here is my double dip. I find some of these spots that are so blatantly obvious to not always come through. And I was a little concerned when I saw how blatantly obvious this over was because baseball scares the shit out of me. We're having a good season. But I doubled up here. I'm on the Braves Nationals first 5, over 4.5 at minus 110, and the full game over 8.5 at minus 120. I've already seen that the full games have gone to 9 in most books. I'm pleased to see that. The first 5s are still at 4.5, with just slightly more juice than I got. So let's just break down quickly, and we don't need to spend too much time. I don't need to hum and haw. I'll tell you why I'm on this spot here. CT Base is Diamondbacks' 4th most profitable first 5 team in the MLB. That scares me. Love the stats. Viper, CT Base delivering us some great stuff here. Braves 13-16, 6-9 on the road at Washington Nationals, 12-13, 8-6 at home. We're at Nationals Park in Washington, D.C. 64 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 14 miles per hour, sideways in. So the wind did concern me a little bit. That's going to help the pitcher's movement. And it's slightly in. It is sideways. Max Fried does not look good. We said that whenever the Nationals were facing a lefty that we would bet, or I said that I would bet them, and I'm not betting them here. I don't want to triple up, and I don't trust Fetty. Fried's 0-1, 11.45 ERA, 2.55 whip, 11 innings, 14 Ks, 5 walks, 3 home runs. He's looked awful. In his last start, he got destroyed by the Marlins, of all teams. 4 innings, 9 hits, 7 earned runs, 2 home runs allowed, 2 walks, 3 Ks, and a 14-8 loss home versus Marlins. Fetty, I just don't trust him. And the Braves hit righties not as hard as the Nats hit lefties. Fetty 2-2, 4.43 ERA, 1.30 whip, 22 1/3, 25 Ks, 11 walks, 2 home runs. In his last start, he went 6 innings and 2 hits, 1 earned run, 1 home run, 3 walks, 7 Ks, and 8-2 win at Toronto. He looked good. Viper says Fetty is a bum. CT Base says full game over, Fried being bad, and Braves decent versus Fetty. K-Prop TJ's on the line. Nationals team total over 3.5. Are you serious? It was at 3.5. Wow, I got to see this. Wow, 3.5. It's a minus 145. That's crazy. There's Shy Archie in the joint. Oh, they do love him. Slatsy's right. They love Cole Caulfield, man. Holy shit. Okay, Braves versus righties, 252, 793 OPS. Nationals versus lefties. You got it at minus 130. That's a good move. Good move, K-Prop. Nationals versus lefties, 305, 869 OPS. Braves bullpen, 4.63 ERA, 1.49 whip. Nationals bullpen, 3.84 ERA, 1.21 whip. Let's move over to the batter versus pitcher. And this was what sealed the deal here for me. They're hitting 388 with a 1.028 OPS against lefties. Or against Max Fried, the Nationals. And then Fetty, the Braves are hitting 378 with a 1.139 OPS. Okay, so I completely get that. Team total over and great look. But I'm going to stick with the double up and stay off the triple ups and try to stay off triple ups as much as possible. Especially once at that juice. But it makes a ton of sense. Nationals bullpen, 3.84 ERA, 1.21 whip. I mentioned that already. Braves bullpen, not quite as good. Time presses. Let's move on. So double up there. Houston Astros at New York Yankees is the next spot. Man, it feels good to see fans in the Bronx at Yankee Stadium. Makes you feel like the world is coming back, at least in America. And if the world comes back in America, you know it'll come back up here in Canada at some point. 61 Fahrenheit, 9 miles per hour, sideways out to right. Luis Garcia, 0-3, 2.70 ERA, 1.05 whip, 20 innings, 20 Ks, 7 walks, 3 home runs. K-Prop said, I don't blame you. 8.5 is a good number. I tried to bet it last night, and it was the only game off. Well, it wasn't the only game, but it was the only game that was listed as off the board, and I went to sleep. I was just like 2 in the morning. Yeah, so, and then I woke up and bet it immediately, and I was wondering why it wasn't at 9 already, and that scared me. Luis Garcia's last start was that start against Kikuchi, and he wasn't his fault. Garcia's a big boy, just 6'1", but 250 pounds. 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 home run. It was a solo shot, obviously. 0 walks, 6 Ks, and 1-0 loss at home versus the Mariners. Montgomery, 1-1, 4.39 ERA, 1.09 whip, 26 and 2/3, 24 Ks, 7 walks, 3 home runs. Last start, 5 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 home run, 1 walk, 1 K, and a 4-3 extra inning loss at Baltimore. And look, we're just starting out the season. And this is a marathon and not a sprint. I've got many months to continue to do well here. But if we do have, if I do, because a lot of you guys have successful MLB seasons year after year, if I have a successful MLB season, then this will be my new strategy for sure of not talking about what happened yesterday and not believing in momentum, even though there's a lot of sharp guys who believe that momentum is important. We'll see. And this was a gas station sushi thing that popped in my head. Raymond Reddington says, did I miss Taint Play of the Day? Yes, you did. It's Detroit Tigers plus a half, first 5 at plus 100. Dangerous bet that we're coming to very soon here. All right. K-Pop TJ says, if anyone watched that game yesterday, Houston is upset about those Yanks fans. But they're coming out today with pride. I'm backing Garcia first 5 here at plus 115. The Astros hit lefties, and Montgomery just pitched against a team that hits lefties pretty well in the Orioles. Not as, actually better numbers than the Astros, surprisingly, against lefties at this point. And he looked pretty good. Yankees are not hitting righties, but that should change. 208, 666 OPS. The big advantage. If there's one advantage here, it's the Yankees bullpen so much better than the Astros bullpen. Yankees bullpen at 2.03 or 2.30 ERA, 0.95 whip. Astros bullpen 4.08 ERA, 1.26 whip. So there's a lot of passion in this game. And it's a lot of fun to see it. And we've missed it. We've missed the Yankees fans. Yankees open up at minus 126. They're now between minus 138. Well, that's where they are at Pinnacle. So it's been a 12-cent move towards them at Pinnacle. This total opened up at 9. It's now at 9.5. And I'm going to stay off this spot. Got enough action today. And the Astros are an angry group. And they could come out, pretty hard with their backs against the wall. And I don't want to back them here. But they scare me enough to keep me off. I think that first 5 look makes a ton of sense from K-Prop. CT Base is another good young pitcher as a first 5 dog. I like it. All right. And Brian Watson says Baltimore, a lot of cappers have plays on them. Yes, because I think the angle is the public is going to have a recency bias on Kikuchi's last start against the Astros when Means' last start against the A's was awesome after seeing them for the second time in 5 days. David Sharp says, K-Prop, I'd like that I'm tailing the Astros first 5. I think that makes a lot of sense, you guys, the more that I think about it. Let's go to first 5 here, money line. See what this market move has done here. We saw it. It's been a 12-cent move, full game towards the Yankees. And first 5, you're getting plus 115 to plus 118. Now, we know that there's a tax on Yankees. Would it be better to wait? Do you think you'll get a better line on the Astros first 5 if you wait? We know money's going to come in on the Yankees. Yes, Birdie. Yes, Birdie. Coach. And please send our love to your wife. She must be a pretty incredible woman. You're a lucky man. She laughs at Coochie, and she lets you cap all day. Does it get better than that? You're a lucky man, Birdie. Please send our love to her. No, Boston Nick, no, I would not do that. That's just too much juice to add. You got to think of the implied probability when you go to minus 125. So I think money's going to come in on the Yankees all day. Now, I might be wrong, and they're certainly going to come on the Yankees all day, full game, maybe not first five. All right, so I'm going to wait and take the Astros. I'm just going to keep an eye on the line. I think I can get a little bit better. And let's go. Next up, 7:05 p.m., Milwaukee Brewers at Philadelphia Phillies. We're at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The Brewers are 17-13, 9-5 on the road. Philadelphia Phillies 15-15, 11-6 at home. 65 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 12 miles per hour sideways in. Freddie Peralta 3-0, 2.25 ERA, 1.00 WHIP, 28 innings, 45 Ks, 14 walks, 3 home runs. He looked very good in his last start. This guy's a passionate young pitcher, and I think that he will step up in big games. 6 innings, 1 hit, 1 earned run, 1 home run, 1 walk, 7 Ks, and a 3-1 win at the Dodgers. David Sharp says, my book moves before most, but I'm already at plus 112. Okay. My pinnacle opening line here is a little messed, so why don't I go to a first 5 spot at Bookmaker and see what they're doing here. So let's just go to Bookmaker quickly. We're going to go to first 5 money line. So the line opened up. So this is Bookmaker. This is the best example, I think, if Pinnacle's not going to help us. Bookmaker opens it up at Houston first 5 plus 124. The Sharps come in and immediately hammer it. Then it goes down to plus 113. And I believe it's the public that's going to come in and has pushed it 3 cents up to plus 116. So I still think that the public is going to make bets on the Yankees in this spot. Bravo, right. All right, let's go. Okay, let's go. Peralta against Chase Anderson. Look, Chase Anderson has got me right in the drink hole. This guy, over his career, has just glistened my tonsils one after another. And I need to be here when he starts getting hammered. I have to be here when he starts getting hammered. I do not trust him. But he looked good in that last start against the Mets. 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 6 Ks. I find it very difficult to believe that Chase Anderson is going to be a strong quality starter with the Phillies. Does that mean that I continually fade him? Look, I'm not going to get burnt too many times making the same move, but I want to here. Brewers versus righties, 209, 646 OPS. Phillies versus righties, 228, 668 OPS. Brewers bullpen, 4.27 ERA, 1.39 WHIP. Phillies bullpen, 4.90 ERA, 1.36 WHIP. That's why they call him Chase Jimmy, Arthur Meade said. Yes, well, look, I'm having a good baseball season so far. But here, I just think there's such an enormous advantage with Peralta. Slats 45 says Brewers team total over plus 3.9 for Anderson. Banged up Philly bullpen. Anderson 6.55 ERA versus the Brew Crew. Let's look at the baseball data here in this spot. By the way, the Astros are hitting 333, 1.061 OPS versus Montgomery. Okay, Peralta, they're hitting 350 with a 1.081 OPS against them. 7 for 20. Hoskins 2 for 3. McCutchen 3 for 4. Harper 1 for 6 with a home run. Against Chase Anderson, 265, 794 OPS. I don't like that. I don't like that Hoskins and McCutchen can get him. But he seems like a strong pitcher right now. Just one, Nick. Wow. Joey Works says Brewers team total over. Thank me later. That might be a better way of doing this, man, because the fact that Hoskins and Kutch can get to Peralta and Harper's gone deep 1 for 6 against Peralta, And Peralta's coming off a strong start that meant so much to him against the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium. That is enough to make me a little uncomfortable. Let's see what the Brew Crew team total over is. 3.5 at -140. God, they juice these. David Sharp says no Yelich. I can't bet Brewers team total. Mr. Ghoster says Brew Crew for the win. Jeremy Miller says it's pouring in Philly right now. They're calling for periodic rain and thunderstorms into the evening. God, I hate that -140 attached. I hate it. Yeah, Boss Nick, if I could do that, I would. I'll have to see if I can. If I get some alternate team totals. Yeah, I like the 4 -105. If I would bet that immediately if that was offered to me. JT, you are a good man. Thank you. And I only have about another week and a half of this ridiculous amount of work, and then we get into playoffs, and NHL and NBA, and we can take more time and have some more fun and bring on more guests. Look, I think this makes a ton of sense, though. I think that Chase Anderson's vulnerable. I think the Philly bullpen is vulnerable, and I don't know what Freddie Peralta is going to give you. Yes, I think he's a much improved pitcher, and he's a young stud, and he's going to keep getting better. But do I want the over 3.5 at -140? The implied probability might be too high there. Okay, I'm going to leave that as a question mark, and if I could get that 4, I'd bet it right away. All right, it is time now. And first off, let's give a quick shout out to our Boston Nick. What a guy he is. What a superstar. What a champion of men. All right, it is time right now for none other than the taint play of the day is Tigers first 5 +0.5 at +100. What a ballsy taint bet by our Matt Randall. What a ballsy bet. Arthur Meade Jr. giving a lucrative Larry shout out. I love it. This is ballsy. All right, Tigers 8-22, 4-13 on the road at Boston Red Sox, 18-12, 9-8 at home. We're at Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts, 49 Fahrenheit, light rain, 5 miles per hour in. David Sharp says, glad to see the taint play on one of my 2 dogs. I bet Tigers first 5 +145 just on the basis of Tigers batters versus Perez. Figured the line was off when you get Perez on the mound against a team who rakes them. Yes, because the Tigers traditionally have hit lefties very hard. Freddie Fortune, by the way, Freddie Fortune got married, and neither of those guys work at the company I used to work for either, so they're all gone. They all left after I left. Casey Mize, 1-3, 5.06 ERA, 1.39 whip, 26 2/3, 20 Ks, 10 walks, 5 home runs. In his last start, he went 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 0 home runs, 3 walks, 3 Ks, and a 3-1 loss at the White Sox. Birdie says that Matt Randall's ball is the size of basketballs. Matty Ice says Mize on the road is way better, and Red Sox have never seen Mize. Advantage Mize and the Tigers. Thank you, Paulie D, my guy. Old school Mariners hat. I think this was the 30th anniversary hat. Martin, okay, let's go with Mize. So Mize last start, 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 0 walks, 3 walks, 6 Ks, and a 3-1 loss to the White Sox. Martin Perez, 0-2, 4.70 ERA, 1.48 whip, 23 innings, 22 Ks, 9 walks, 1 home run. This guy Martin Perez just has my number. This ass clown just has my number. He just takes money out of my family's mouth. I think he's a bad pitcher. When I do the eye test, I see him getting smoked, and he just Martin Perez, 0-2, 4.70 ERA, 1.48 whip, 23 innings, 22 Ks, 9 walks, 1 home run. In his last start at Texas, who've been hitting lefties better, he went 5 2/3, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 7 Ks, and a 4-1 loss. Tigers versus lefties, 170, 467 OPS. I said here a couple weeks ago, watch this number go up. It is not. It is dropped. Yeah, Anthony Mastinardi, they're a tough team to cap. Puzzler said I used to wear it for your safety rope, Freddie. Now and then. Ooh, this is such a ballsy bet. Red Sox versus Rockies, 258, 767 OPS. Tigers bullpen, 6.60 ERA, 1.69 whip. Red Sox bullpen, 3.51 ERA, 1.26 whip. You know what? I've got to pull out the mirror and try to get through my quarantine pubes and look at the size of my balls. Because right now they feel like the size of marbles in comparison to Matt Randall's enormous testicular area. Mr. Ghoster's with the Detroit first five. All right, let's go over the batter versus pitcher. Only Marwin Gonzalez has seen Mize. He's 1 for 2 against some tiny sample size. Against Martin Perez, these guys are hitting .333 with a .935 OPS. Cabrera 4 for 8. Reyes 4 for 6. Scope 4 for 12. Wow. North Ennis has got to ride the taint. Wow. Ethan Payson, my pleasure. My pleasure. I enjoyed Aaron getting upset that I talked too fast as well. Aaron, when that man takes his balls off your face, wash up for dinner. Aaron. Okay. Joe Yurkovich says maybe the Tigers broke out last night. Their offense will regress back to the mean. I agree. They've got to, right? Cheech Marina says my Tigers are terrible. I took Boston, so I'm sure Tigers are going to play it. Cheech. Okay, I don't know what. Look, I can't just sit here and question everything. So it's just enormous balls. All right, let's move on to 7:30 p.m. Eastern, LA Dodgers. But to repeat, the taint play of the day: Red Sox first 5 plus a half. I mean, you have an advantage on the mound. You're absolutely right. The Tigers should be able to get to Perez. You know, God. Well, I think I might jump on it, but I need to sit and stare at it. I need to look at the lineups. I just need. Let's just see what the market move has been on that first 5, anyways. First 5 money lines and totals. It's just Martin Perez, man. The guy just violates my prison pocket time after time. Wow. So if we go to a pinnacle, let's go back to my pinnacle first 5s are weird right now. Let's go to a bookmaker market move. So Detroit at 825 was at plus 131 first 5. Then they got up to plus 163 and they're back at plus 151, which is probably around where they will stay. So the Tigers plus a half opened up at plus 115 and it's now at plus 105 at bookmaker. Oh, don't ask no tails laying stand on the table today. Oh man. Okay, that is as exciting of a taint play today as I can remember. It's just Maddie, what a great capper he is. Okay, let's move on. Dodgers, Cubbies, Wrigley Field, Chicago, Illinois. How easy was that first 5 over 3 yesterday? Too easy. Dodgers 17-14, 9-9. You know what? If I was a better capper, I would have been on the Cubs as well. That does seem logical, Birdie. That does seem logical. All right, let's keep rolling. Dodgers, Cubbies, Wrigley Field, Chicago, Illinois, 50 Fahrenheit, clear 8 miles per hour in. Walker Buehler, 1-0, 3.16 ERA, 0.96 whip, 31 in the third, 31 Ks, 2 walks, 4 home runs in his last start. He went 6 in the third. Did not look good. 7 hits, 5 earned runs, 1 home run allowed, 1 walk, 10 Ks, and a 6-5 loss at home versus the Reds. Adbert Alzolay, we thought he was going to be pitching yesterday, In fact, he is here on the bump today. 1-2, 4.71 ERA, 0.90 WHIP, 21 innings, 23 Ks, 6 walks, 3 home runs. In his last start, he went 6 innings, 4 hits allowed, 2 earned runs, 1 home run, 1 walk, 6 Ks, a quality start, and a 9-3 win at Atlanta. Benjamin Mills says Dodgers back to their non-hitting ways. Dodgers sitting at 17-14. Those of you, and I know there's a bunch of you who took the under in their season win total, have to be feeling good about themselves. Dodgers versus righties, 252, 794 OPS. Cubs versus righties, 219, 695 OPS. Dodgers bullpen, 3.83 ERA, 1.43 WHIP. Cubs bullpen, 3.92 ERA, 1.40 WHIP. And Anthony Mastroianni said, don't be fooled by the short line of Bucks Wizards. The Bucks cash again. They're win now mode. They want to finish the season with no loss and hope to pass the Nets in the standings. It was a big move, 6.5 down to 3 in that game, but we'll get there soon. I got to speed up shit. Okay, Dodgers, Cubbies. Let's look at the market move here. Full game. Oh, my God, I have so many games left. What the hell's going on with me? They opened up at minus 170 at Pinnacle. They're now at minus 158, so a 12-cent move towards the Cubs. This total was juiced to the over. There's been a 2-cent move towards this over. I wonder. Cubs are hitting 219, 695 OPS versus righties. The Dodgers are 100 points better. And you have Walker Buehler coming off a bad start. I just feel like, okay, let's go batter versus pitcher. They're hitting 216, 645 OPS versus Walker and then the Dodgers haven't seen Alzolay. Viper says the total's gone over in 10 of the Dodgers' last 12 games. It just feels like the advantage on the mound is real. And that is the only – and then you have 100 points better against righties, which makes me think the Dodgers minus a half, expecting a bounce-back performance from Walker Buehler. It also makes me think that the under will be in play. That first 5 under is sitting at 4. The Dodgers aren't hitting and haven't seen Alzolay. And it feels like an eruption could come against the bullpen. Alzolay just pitched against an Atlanta Braves squad that's hitting 800 versus righties, and he allowed 2 earned runs over 6. I'm moving on this game. It's cold, though 8 miles per hour in. I'm taking Dodgers first 5 minus a half and the first 5 under 4. And Matty Ice says both of those looks are on his card. All right, double up there. Let's move on. Okay, I moved on to Texas Rangers at plus 140 against the Twinkies. We've got to move quickly. I would just like to see what I'd get right now. Now it's plus 135, okay, in my book. So 5 cents of a move in my direction. Target field, Minneapolis, Minnesota, 50 Fahrenheit, overcast 6 miles per hour, sideways. And look, it's Yang Yang's first MLB start. Going up against Lewis Thorpe, the Australian. And Thorpe hasn't started, and I don't have this number in front of me, but I believe since April 20th. So the Twinkies don't have him in the starting rotation. And Yang was the KBO MVP in 2017. He's 33 years old, and he's making his first MLB start. The Twins don't smash lefties. They're hitting 255, which is a good average, but 732 OPS. The Rangers are hitting better against lefties, and Joe Yurkovich gave us those statistics yesterday. Birdie jumping on board. I love it. Christopher Carter says, don't like betting against Walker. Dutch Boy Fresh says, Bucks put so much energy in the past 2 games. Starting 5 is questionable. Yeah. It's a spot that I think that Big Mastro would want to wait and make sure that everybody's in. So I think that there is a big advantage on the mound with Yang than Thorpe. But we know what's happened when these guys come over from the KBO League or from Japan is they get touched. But Yang has looked good so far, 2.08 ERA, 0.81 WHIP. Now, that's just 8 2/3. He doesn't walk batters. I'm getting them at plus 140 on the first 5. I had enough confidence not to take the plus a half. And let's just go past this spot here. I don't need to break it down anymore. Mr. Gogus says not many stud KBO pitchers. Well, we got a stud Korean pitcher in Hyunjin Ryu on our ball club. And look, it's tough. It's a tough spot, but I think I have an advantage on the mound. I'm getting plus 140, and I'm on the Rangers first 5. Plus 140. That was a bet I already made. We move on to 8:10 p.m. Indians versus Royals. I'm already 13 minutes over the planned allotted time. Kauffman Stadium in Kansas, Missouri. Indians are 15-13, 8-7 on the road. Kansas City Royals are 16-12, 8-7 at home. Mention what they'd be if they had a bullpen. 67 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 6 miles per hour out to left center. Shane Bieber, 3-2, 2.76 ERA, 0.99 whip, 42 in the third, 68 Ks, 14 walks, 5 home runs. In his last start, he got touched for 3 earned runs. It was a very easy Keuchel versus Bieber start where we took the first 5 over 3. We took the White Sox team, or the Indians team total over 3.5, and it was just cash. And we could have tripled up and cashed that too. 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 11 Ks, and a 5-3 win at the White Sox. Brady Singer, coming off a bad start at Minnesota. He only made it through 2 innings, but he's had a good start to his season. 1-3, 3.09 ERA, 1.20 whip, 23 in the third, 26 Ks, 9 walks, 2 home runs. Indians are hitting 219, 694 OPS versus righties. Royals are hitting 247, 26 OPS versus righties. Indians bullpen is incredible, 2.71 ERA, 1.16 whip. And if you're ever betting the Royals, you have to bet first 5s. Joe Rich Ramirez says bounce back day under. Let's see what we are dealing with here. From a market perspective, we have that first 5 at 3.5. It was juiced to the under, and it still is. Bieber and the Indians opened up at minus 179, minus 180. God, I wish this was a 4. And I can't take full game. So I can't do anything here. I don't think Bieber's as dominant as he was last year. I mean, clearly the numbers show that. David Sharp's on Royals. First 5 plus 152. Royals hit Bieber well. Let's go over to that batter versus pitcher. Thank you for mentioning that to me. Batter versus pitcher against Bieber, 216, 683 OPS, not bad. Benintendi, 6 for 11 with 2 doubles and a homer against him. Salvi Perez, 3 for 11 with 2 homers against him. And against Singer, they're hitting 179, 519 OPS. That's a ballsy move, Sharpie. After Singer's last start, I can't do it with you, but I love it, and I'll be a fan. To move on to 8:10 p.m. Eastern, Pirates, Padres. Pirates are 13-16, 8-9 on the road. Padres are 17-14, 8-10 at home. We're Petco Park in San Diego, California. 68 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 7 miles per hour to right. JT Brubaker, it looks like an absolute stud so far this year. 2.63 ERA, 1.02 whip. He's got 30 Ks, 5 walks. That's the kind of K-walk ratio that you want to bet on. He has allowed 4 home runs and 27 in the third, but that's fine. Jurkovic just locked in. Rangers team total over 3.5. What's the juice do I get on that? You know what? I'm not going to double up there, but I like it. Maybe I could double up. That makes sense, Joe. Joe coming off a perfect 3-0 day. That just makes sense. God, I got to hurry. But I have to hurry, but I also need to make money. 3.5 is at minus 130 in my book. There's Skee Profit. Great call on Colin Sexton. Perfectly analyzed. Yu Darvish, 3-1, 2.13 ERA, 0.89 whip, 38 innings, 49 Ks, 11 walks, 4 home runs. In his last start, he went 6 in the third, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 1 home run, 3 walks, 12 Ks, and a 3-2 win at San Francisco. Pirates versus righties, 231, 664 OPS. Padres versus righties, 239, 690 OPS. Pirates bullpen, 3.61 ERA, 1.10 whip, very strong. Padres bullpen's been good too, 2.82 ERA, 1.11 whip. Our man Jose also on the Pirates first 5 yesterday. C-Mac on the Pirates first 5 yesterday. Johnny K backing the Pirates. And Anthony Mastinardi on play of the day, Knicks money line. And Skee giving love back to Mr. Taint. Also, Skee on the Locker Room app has a show every day. You should download the Locker Room app and check out Skee Profit's show. He puts a lot of energy into us, and he always has. OG Lowbagger, and if we can give back to a great man, it would make me happy. Okay, let's go here. Let's see what we are dealing with from a market perspective in this Darvish Brubaker spot. We're going to start with full game because we don't need to have any concern over these bullpens. And full game total is sitting at 6.5. That's low, man. That first 5 total is sitting at 3.5, juice to the under. That's low. Much love, Skee. Okay, let's go to batter versus pitcher. Maybe that will clarify some stuff for us. Only Caratini seen Brubaker. He's 3 for 6 against them. They're hitting 123 with a 340 OPS against Darvish. All right, Matt Janning. European basketball star, well, American basketball star, starring in Europe. Matt Janning joining us. Nice to have you. Thanks, my man. All right. Pirates, Padres is a no move for me at this point. I guess the under 3.5 is somewhat appealing, but it's just too low. All right, we move on to Rays, Angels. It's going to be Kittredge, then Yarbrough, I assume. That. Let's just pull up the Roto Wire. We are going to be getting into NBA right after this. Oh, shoot. Sorry. Do we have any confirmation that it's Yarbrough is the principal? Let me just get that confirmation right here. Tampa Bay. That Detroit-Boston game may not end up going after all the talk that we put into it. Yarbrough is the primary here. So Kittredge is the opener. Kittredge 3-0, 1.504 ERA, 0.77 whip, 11 and 2/3 Ks, 3 walks. And I like this look because Kittredge is good. And then the Angels don't hit lefties very hard. There's Guillermo Zertucci in the house. Angels for lefties, 226, 685 OPS. Rays versus righties, 221, 676 OPS. Shohei Ohtani on the other side. And there's the Ohtani tax, which let's see what they do against Ohtani. Any have they seen him? No. Which makes me think that if you get a big enough plus line, why wouldn't you take the Tampa Bay Rays first 5? And if you like the Rays, they're both bullpens are kind of weak. Why not? You're getting a plus line. Is that enough? I just don't know if that's enough. Ohtani's last start didn't look very good at Texas. 4 earned runs, 2 walks, 9 Ks in 5 innings. Is he somebody who could be spectacular when he wants to? David Sharp says, I don't think it's a big enough tax. I think you're right, David Sharp. I was hoping for more. But let's see if the tax comes in throughout the day. Matty Ice says, Kittredge is right-handed pitcher, not left. Yes, they do, but Kittredge is just 1 inning. He's 1 inning, and Yarbrough's the primary, and Kittredge is a very good pitcher. Can he get through that first inning? David Sharp says he looked bad first inning and kicked it into gear. You're right. I don't think it's a big enough tax, but I'll see. I'm going to wait on the Ohtani tax. All right, we have one final game, 9:40 p.m. Blue Jays, A's, Oakland Coliseum, Oakland, California. Jays are 14-14, 7-10 on the road. A's are 19-12, 11-8 home. 59 Fahrenheit clear, 10 miles per hour to straightaway center. We have Robbie Ray on the mound, who's been much better. I can't quite explain it right now, but they did explain it to us on Fan 590. What's changed with Robbie Ray? It's basically just been positioning on the bump and how it's fixed his hips and fixed his whole whatever. So they believe he's always going to walk a lot of batters, but they believe that he's going to continue to pitch well. Last start, 6 2/3, 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 home run, 0 walks, 5 Ks, 13-5 win at home over the Braves. Chris Bassett, 2-2, 3.93 ERA, 1.28 WHIP, 34 1/3, 36 Ks, 12 walks, 3 home runs. In his last start, he went 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 home run, 1 walk, 9 Ks, and a 3-2 win at the Rays. Jays are hitting just 231, 692 OPS versus righties. A's versus lefties, 239, 766 OPS. Jays bullpen, 2.55 ERA, 1.17 WHIP. A's bullpen's been good. And no worries, Dommy guns on Cincinnati and Oakland. Let's go to the baseball data here against Ray. They're hitting 164, 76. Small sample size, but just 4 for 25 against them. And the Jays hit Bassett. Ray has confidence right now. I wonder if you're going to get a nice plus line on the Jays' first 5. Not a big one, but one. Which means if you take Tampa, I wish they were bigger dogs. And the A's are hitting lefties so hard this year. Yeah. No, Springer's going to be in. For what we've been told, that we have a high-performance group here that a lot of the Jays have bumped heads with over the last few years. The high-performance group planned out the rest day for Springer is what we've been told. Okay, I'm going to stay off this spot, but I would lean towards the Jays' first 5. All right, let's review action, get an NBA as fast as possible. This is the action. I'm on the Orioles' first 5. I did not get the plus line that the others got. Oh, I haven't bet it yet, but when I bet it, I assume I'm going to get a minus 105. I'm going to be on the Marlins' first 5 minus a half. I doubled up earlier on the Braves Nats. I've made 3 bets already. That was 2 of them. First 5, over 4.5 minus 110. Full game, over 8.5 minus 120. Most have moved to 9. I'm going to wait and see. I'm going to take the Astros' first 5. And I'm going to wait and see if I can get a better line. Then that Brewers team total over 3.5 just makes so much sense. It's just so juiced. But I think I will move on it. Then we come to the taint play, the day Tigers first 5 plus a half. It's just such a huge ballsy play that I just want to sit and stare at. I'm doubling up on the Dodgers first 5 minus a half and first 5 under 4. I'm on the Texas Rangers first 5. I got plus 140. It's available in my book right now, plus 135. And I'm on the KBO MVP, Hyun Jung Yang. He was the KBO MVP in 2017. I think I have a pitching advantage over Lewis Thorpe. The Rangers are hitting better against lefties. Yurkovich gave us those stats yesterday. They're also hitting better when they get on the road. And the Twinkies haven't seen them. Indians, Royals, I'm off. Pirates, Padres, I'm off. I have some interest in the Rays first 5, but I'm not going to take it. I'm not getting a big enough Ohtani tax. That's my MLB. Let's move on to NBA, and let's work together, and let's move quickly. Let's go right now. And great work, everybody in the chat, working together to defeat the juice. You guys are really coming in strong right now. And I knew that my ROI would go up immediately once we went back to live shows. And we've seen that over the last month. There's Jeremy Miller in the house. Yes, Pete is going to be joining us here on Pub Sports Radio. We're just working out some things right now, some very funny Pete-isms, that's the low shack-isms that we're just kind of working out that we'll laugh about when he comes back and joins us again. But I can promise you, Peter Loshak will be back with us, and it will be Saturdays. So I can promise you. Thank you, David Sharp. Let's talk fast right now. NBA, we're coming off a 2-in-1 day plus 0.90 units. We cashed the Kings. You know, I called that Kings game to a T. First half, we'd cash easily, and then they would not keep their foot on the gas and kind of lollygag in the second half, and that's what happened. I failed miserably on the total in the Pistons game. That was very hard to watch, but if Killian had hit those two free throws, we probably get to overtime, and I would have cashed it, but I don't deserve it. And then I did not have the assist prop available, so unlike you guys, I didn't get the cash on Skee's prop, but I did get this cash on Dutchie's prop. All right, we start with Celtics Magic, and I can't spend more than 2 minutes on a game. So let's work together and work fast. And I got Jose on the 1s and 2s. He'll be jumping up and adding in the comments as he's done. Okay, Celtics Magic. Magic opened up at plus 10.5. They're now plus 11. This total opened up at 218.5. Is now at 218 or 217.5. Celtics are 34-31, 13-18 on the road, and the Magic are 21-44, 11-23 at home. And the Celtics need to win to stay out of the play-in spot. We're the Amway Center in Orlando, Florida. Celtics past 5, they're 2-3. They're 10th in pace at 102.17 possessions a game. Magic last 5, they're 3-2. They're 15th in pace at 98.60 possessions a game. And Johnny K says, man, those Cavs, oh, God, that would have been one of the worst beats of the year. I told you I was going to stay off just because the Suns had played bad before. But the fact that the Cavs couldn't cover 12 when they took the game to overtime I would have lost my shit. Celtics are coming off a 129-119 loss at home to the Blazers on Sunday. Tatum goes for 33. Kemba Walker, left oblique strain, misses 4th straight game. Brad Stevens said that he's been practicing and that he will possibly be playing tonight. But I don't know if they need him. And yeah, Jeremy Miller, our guy Lodels, is in Brooklyn working a job. Good job in the real estate industry. And Marcus Smart went for 11, 8, and 8. Jaylen Brown was a game time decision because of right ankle sprain. He goes for 16-11. He will not be in the lineup tonight. Evan Fournier starting to look more comfortable. He goes for 21. And Aaron Naismith goes for 16. Magic coming off their second straight win in 3rd and 4 games, a 119-112 victory at Detroit on Monday. Mo Bamba goes for 22 and 15 career highs, and they're just missing everybody. Kennedy, Carter Williams, Ennis, Fultz, Isaac, Okiki, Porter, Ross, and they all remain out for tonight. I legitimately do not know what to have faith in. Turnsy's looking at a Celtics team total over. I honestly think the Magic at this number are probably the look. Let's see if we can get an update on Kemba. Kemba's not on the injury report that I have. Brady says Celtics and under here, in my opinion. How the hell is Orlando team going to score? I'm going to stay off this spot. Let's move on to Portland Trailblazers at Cleveland Cavaliers. Blazers 36-29, 20-13 on the road. Cavs 21-44, 12-20 at home. Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, Cleveland, Ohio. Blazers past 5, they're 4-1. This is their 6th and final game of the road trip. They won the first 4 before losing 123-114 at Atlanta on Monday. Their pace has been 9th in the NBA on this road trip at 102.30 possessions a game. And Johnny K's on the Magic money line. Wow, Magic money line. Jacksonville Zoe says sorry to figure out the Celtics team. He's right. Cavaliers are 0-5 over their past 5. They're 22nd in pace at 97.18 possessions a game. Let's move over to the market here. We have Portland opening up as 11.5-point favorites. This total opening up at 229, now at 228.5. Arthur Meade Jr. is on the Portland team total over. All right. Lillard went for 33, McCollum 20. Norm Powell was able to play 32 minutes despite this sore right knee. He's listed as questionable again tonight. Oh, excuse me. He's now listed as probable. He was listed as questionable before that game, and he stepped up. He's the guy battles. I love him. 15 points in 39 minutes. Carmelo goes for 14 to surpass Alvin Hayes for 10th place on the NBA's career scoring list. And I really love this last little run that Carmelo's had in the NBA. He's earned it. The Cavs are on the second half of a back-to-back after losing their 7th straight game, 134-118 in overtime at home to the Suns. Isaac Okoro goes for 32, Sexton for 29. Garland missed last night's game. It's unclear if he'll play tonight. They did sign Anderson Varejao, I guess, to slap ass and cheer everybody on. Nance, Stevens, Hartenstein, Dellavedova, Prince, and Windler all remain out. Lee Frederchak is on Portland first half -6.5. I get it. I absolutely get it. I just fear the Blazers on the last game of this road trip. Now, it's good that they lost last out. They're going to want to finish off with a win, but it's hard to be motivated properly when you're at Cleveland to finish off a road trip. Oh, yeah, Jeremy Miller. Man, we miss you, buddy. I love it. Dutch Boy Fresh says Blazers first half -6.5, lead by 21 earlier in the year. Last 3 meetings up average 13 at the half off a loss. Coach talk, they come out hungry and up big. Yeah, it helps that they lost. It really helps that look. They need to finish off 5-1. They need to take advantage of this Cavaliers team. They need to blow them out early so that they can rest players before the flight. That all makes sense. Jacksonville Zoe says Cavs on the back-to-back, but 11.5 points is a lot. Portland first half for team total over. The only looks I would consider. And then you'd want to back the over, but what happens if it's a blowout and there's no, scores late for the Blazers? All right. That first half makes sense. First half makes sense. All right. And what is that first half going to be at? First half, Portland minus 6.5. So there hasn't been heavy movement. There is juice applied. First half, Blazers minus 6.5. All right, Lee Federchak and Dutch Boy fresh on the Blazers first half minus 6.5, and it does make sense. Reader said, I can't wait to see you staring at Peter's mustache. It'll be different because it'll be on screen. It's when you're like that close, because we had that table, the final table we had down south in Costa Rica was built for one. So we couldn't have our legs underneath, and we were too close to each other. And yeah, I would just sit and stare at it. And Dutch Boy Fresh is also on Beal over 29.5 at minus 110. And that makes sense that Beal would go for the scoring title. All right, let's move on to Phoenix Suns and Atlanta Hawks. And thank you for sharing all your hard work with us, Dutchy. And Joe Yurkovich just locked in Rays Angels over 8.5. The camel coat. Oh, I missed that. It's going to be great to have him back in action. Phoenix Suns 47, and it's great that we've been doing Tuesday to Friday to allow Saturday thoroughbred shows and allow if Lodels was going to come back to do a Saturday show with them. Suns at Hawks. Suns 47-18, 22-9 on the road at the Atlanta Hawks, 36-30, 20-11 at home. We're at State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. The Suns are 5-0 over the past 5, 30th in pace, 95.02 possessions a game. The Hawks are 2-3, 23rd in pace at 97 possessions a game. They're scoring efficiently, but their pace is slow. Let's go to full game spreads and totals here. We have Phoenix opening up as 1.5 point favorites. Let's move to 1. This total just sitting strong at 228. And Arthur Mead is on this under. And Skee Profit says Cavs got to be demoralized after that OT loss. John Chow says, am I crazy for liking the Hawks here? No, you're not crazy. Suns on the second half of a back-to-back after their 134-118 overtime win at Cleveland last night. Devin Booker goes for 31. Paul goes for 23 and 16. Jay Crowder missed his 7th straight game with a sprained right ankle, and he's unlikely to return here. Hawks are coming off, that win over Portland. Sorry, when was it? I didn't finish that sentence for some reason. I don't know what got in my mind. Maybe I had to make a bet. Danilo Gallinari made 7 threes, finished with 28 points. The Hawks are 20 of 41 from 3. Hard to imagine them be that good here. MMA locker room, Kings Pacers first half over. Viper says Toll's gone over in 6 of Phoenix last 7 games on the road. Interesting. Trae Young 21-11. They've won 6 consecutive home games, one up their high for the season. 14-16 at State Farm Arena. They've won 7 straight at home from February 21st to April 6th. Bogdanovich is probable. DeAndre Hunter and Cam Reddish are out. Arthur Mead Jr., I would immediately run with you on this under because of the pace that these teams have been playing at. But for some reason on the second half of back-to-backs, I'm not getting the defensive play from the team that's on it, and that concerns me. The Suns have to be tired after that overtime win, don't they? Von Polo says Atlanta my lock and Wiz +7. Great call getting Wiz +7. I believe that's down to 3. 3.5. Huh. Atlanta's got to be able to take advantage here, don't they? Don't the Hawks have to be? But the Suns just come to play. And hard to imagine that they put out too much effort. Okay, well, I certainly lean. I'll just leave them as leans right now. I lean to the under with you, Arthur, and I lean to the Hawks as well. Second half of a back-to-back. This is not in the what's going on with these Suns in the standings? I don't have time for this. All right, we're quickly moving over to the Suns here, tied with the Jazz, and they need to keep winning. They want that first spot, right? Because that will keep them away from a possible Lakers. I mean, it's possible. It's probably unlikely. The Lakers will probably play themselves out. But it's possible that the Lakers end up 7th. LeBron plays, obviously, in that game against the 8th team. They win it. They get the 7th seed, and they play the 2 seed in the first round. You could see Jazz Lakers in the first round. Johnny K's on the Hawks. All right. I'm going to need more time there. Let's move on to Kings, Pacers, where Bankers Life Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana. 2 teams that don't play defense. The Kings, Pacers, total sitting at 239.5. Indiana sitting as 6.5-point favorites here. Bankers Life Fieldhouse, Indianapolis, Indiana. Kings are 4-1 over their past 5. They're paced 15th in the NBA, 98.60 possessions a game. Pacers are 2-3 over the past 5. They're first in pace at 108.60 possessions a game. And we have Collins over 1.5 3-points made. Wow. I'm going to copy and paste this so we can go over it right at the end of the show. But let's just pop this in here. Arthur Meade Jr. Halliburton is done for the season. He will not be playing for the rest of the year. Collins over 1.5 3-points made at plus 167. Suns second worst 3-point defense last 10 games. Collins averages 1.3 3-pointers made and 3.3 threes attempted. He's 38.3 in his last 4, averaging 2.3 averaging 2 3-pointers made and 4.25 attempted on 47% at plus 167. The implied probability is 37.5, so I see an edge. No, that's great stuff, Skee. That was well put. Well put. Very, very well put. Okay. God, 20 minutes. Kings, Pacers. Kings on the second half of a back-to-back after winning their third straight game, 103-99 at OKC last night. Buddy Hield went for 18-11. Terrence Davis goes for 18. DeLon Wright, 13, 10, and 8. They've won 6 of 9. They're still trying to get into that play-in tournament, which they won't get to. Sacramento began the night 4 games behind San Antonio for 10th place. Kings have 7 games left. De'Aaron Fox missed his 6th straight game because of health and safety protocols. Harrison Barnes missed his 4th straight game with hip tightness. Fox and Barnes are expected to be out tonight, and Halliburton to miss the rest of the regular season with a hyperextended left knee. The Pacers are coming off their 3rd loss in 4 games, 154-141 at Washington on Monday night. Sabonis goes for 32 and 20. LeVert goes for 33. Brogdon missed a 2nd straight game with a right hamstring injury. He's listed as questionable. Edward Sumner left in the 3rd with a left knee contusion, did not return. He's listed as questionable. Jason Lamb and Badadze are also listed as questionable. Jakar Sampson is out. I have no update on Miles Turner, but I expect him to be out. Wow. Okay. I don't know who to trust here. And 6.5 might be too much. You have to think the Pacers come out strong off their 3rd loss in 4 games. And then that the Pacers' first half could be a look. And I say could because when the team's on the second half of a back-to-back, you want to fade them full game. You don't want to fade them first half. I don't want to leave money on the table, and I might be doing that, not backing the Pacers here. But the Kings feel good about themselves. So no move still for me on this entire NBA card. Let's move on to Sixers, Rockets. Sixers 44, 21, 19, and 14 on the road. Rockets 16 and 49, 8 and 26 at home. We're at the Toilet Center, Houston, Texas. Sixers are 5-0 over the past 5, 24th in pace at 96.98 possessions a game. Rockets are 1-4, 4th in pace at 104.90 possessions a game. Sixers coming off their 5th straight win, 106-94 at the Bulls. Harris goes for 21. Curry goes for 20. They finished with 5 starters in double figures. Simmons 15, Green 14. Embiid goes for 13 and 10. Their 3-game road trip ends tonight. This is a healthy group, but do they care about playing the Houston Rockets? Do they? Wood had 19 points and 8 boards, and they went 8 of 35 from 3 in their 122-97 loss at home versus the Knicks on Sunday. Olenek goes for 17, 10, and 7. Avery Bradley started after missing the last 2 games with leg soreness. 7 points. Daniel House missed his third straight game with a right sore ankle. DJ Augustine missed his 11th game in a row with a sprained left ankle. Silas said that Eric Gordon is actually going to be coming back before the end of the season. And shout out to Eric Gordon, because there are a lot of players who just they're on a shit team and they say, you know what, I'm not going to rehab this and get back. But Eric Gordon, I respect him a lot. House is doubtful. Augustine is questionable. And Brown and Eric Gordon are out. The Rockets are sitting here as 7-point dogs first half. Full game, they are 13-point dogs. And it just feels like the Sixers will just run them out. They'll completely... We're only going to have to worry about this for another week, Turnsy. But Bino and C-Mac coming up in 17 minutes at 1 p.m. for MLB Best Bets. Soon it's going to be playoff time, and we're going to have more than enough time in the 2-hour time slot. It just feels like if the Sixers come in and play well, they'll just destroy them first half, and that 7 is probably... You don't want them first quarter because it's possible that they sort of mail it in early and then take over. I think that first half -7 is fine. Jason Folk. Okay, let's move on to Dutch Boy Freshest Look, over 24.5 rebounds and assists, a -106. It just makes so much sense. Washington Wizards 30-35, 13-18 on the road. Milwaukee Bucks 41-24, 22-10 at home. Pfizer for Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Wizards are 3-2 over the past 5, 5th in pace at 104.33 possessions a game. Bucks are 4-1 over the past 5, 7th in pace at 104.10 possessions a game. Wizards are coming off their third win in 4 games, 154-141 at home versus the Pacers on Wednesday. Westbrook goes for 14 points, 21 boards, 24 assists. Rui goes for 27 points. Bradley Beal 26. 9 players finished in double figures. They're just playing very well. 96 points in the paint. Sharp Money says, okay. Bucks are on the second half of a back-to-back after defeating the Nets for the second time in 3 days, 124-118 last night at home. Giannis Antetokounmpo for 36 points. DiVincenzo had a career high 15 rebounds, go along with 10 points. Milwaukee clinched a 5th straight playoff game. They're 3rd in the East. They're 3 behind Philadelphia and 1.5 behind Brooklyn. And I legitimately think it's a terrible spot for Milwaukee here. They're 3.5-point favorites, and this is a very bad spot. But they need to win out. They're a really good basketball team. Is it possible that somebody doesn't go here? Skee Profit leans Burton's and Hachimura over. And Brady says, do not step in front of the Bucks right now. And then we have Grizzlies, Timberwolves, Target Center, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Grizzlies 1-4 over the past 5. Timberwolves 4-1 over the past 5. Grizzlies are playing poor, coming off their second straight loss, 4th in 5 games. They lose 118-104 at home to a Knicks team that was on the second half of a back-to-back. Vipers on the over in that spot. It's gone over in 5 of Milwaukee's last 5 games playing Washington. Dylan Brooks goes for 25. Bain goes for 22. Jaren Jackson goes for 15. He's out due to injury management. Grayson Allen missed 2 previous games with injured left hand. He came back and he started. Wolves are coming off that 140-136 overtime loss at home to the Pelicans on Saturday. They're just playing good ball. They were going for their longest winning streak since January 28th. That was Butler's first season with the team. Minnesota is 3-point dogs at home here. Viper says total's gone under in 5 Minnesota's last 6 games when playing at home against Memphis. It's too bad. I wish the Grizzlies were feeling good about themselves so we could comfortably take Minnesota, but they're angry. Then we have Knicks at Nuggets. This Knicks team is just playing good basketball. 3.5-point dogs. We already know that Big Mastro is on the Knicks money line. Knicks are coming off their 12th win in 13 games. Randall goes for 28. That was on Monday. Derrick Rose goes for 25 and 11 from 15 from the field. Nerlens Noel suffered a left ankle sprain on Sunday's win over the Rockets. He was out. This is their 3rd game in 4 nights. That's very tough. That's a very tough spot for the Knicks. And then we have Spurs, Jazz. These teams coming off a 110-99 win at Utah Monday night. Spurs 4 straight loss. Jason Falk says Anthony likes Memphis. I'll tail. it's good. These are good spots. You think Memphis has got to bounce back, and it's a good spot for the Nuggets here. But do you want to get in the way of the Knicks? And I don't. This card's going to take more time, and we've got to get in the NHL. And I apologize that we didn't have more time. For me, right now, I only have Blazers first half -6.5. And I lean to the under and I lean to the Hawks, but I don't know if I can pull the trigger. I did move on the Sixers first half -7. I think that Dutch boy freshest look of Russ over 24.5 rebounds and assists is a great, great look. So I want to move on that. I have to see if it's available in my book. And I need more time on that Nuggets and Spurs spot. All right, let's go on to NHL. We're coming off a 3-2 day. We lost Islanders -1.5. We lost that Pittsburgh Philly under 6.5 and should have been the first period under. That really upset me. And then we cashed Oilers -1.5 easy. We cashed Brewers over 5.5, and we cashed Hurricanes -1.5 easy. And Sharp Money says that's his play of the day, Memphis -3.5. The Grizzlies have to step up and beat this Timberwolves team. Okay, I'm going to look into more of that, Sharp Money. Thank you for sharing that with us. All right, I didn't get enough time to hammer this appropriately. So, and we only have 11 minutes, so we basically have a minute a game, which sucks, and I apologize. Let's start with this Canadians Senators spot and Cole Caulfield really sparking this group. Senators are playing good hockey, though, right now. We have, move over to NHL, and I just apologize for shit. We have 9 games. The Senators open up at +145. Money comes in on them immediately. They're sitting at +130. The Habs and the total here, sorry, let's move over to this. And the total is sitting at 5.5, juiced to the over. These Habs are coming off their third straight win on Monday night, 3-2 at home over Toronto. And the Senators have won 3 of 4. They're coming off a win at home over Winnipeg. Slats45 says Shabbat is a huge loss. You're absolutely right. Austin Hill says have a late show today, Jimmy. We might be able to start doing that moving forward, but that kind of has to be planned out. Mr. Gogster, I need your help here badly. Brady says, I bet the Habs here. Habs are now in playoff mode. This line is fair in my opinion. Sens have a D out regulation is what I took. This makes sense to me. The Canadians have to win now. They will do whatever it takes. I don't see really that big of an advantage to play the Oilers over the Leafs. I certainly prefer to play the Oilers over the Leafs. Maybe it's a bigger opportunity than maybe they need to fight to get that third spot over the Jets. Birdie's right. The Habs and the Jets have to win now. The Habs -1 makes sense. Let's move right on to Capitals, Rangers in the next spot. This is a very angry Rangers team that will now be playing without Panarin and will also be playing without Trouba, and Chris Kreider is day-to-day. In saying that, they're an extremely angry squad after what Tom Wilson did to them. And I expect this to be a much tighter game than one would expect because of the anger and the passion coming from the Rangers squad. In saying that, I expect this to be an under 6 because there's going to be so much passion. I expect an under 6. I expect a tight, hard game. And I wonder if the first period under is better than the full game under 6. But that is my expectation. I expect playoff-type hockey. Ovi won't be in. Earl Sports is going to expect Tom Wilson to be battling here. Brady says, I'll be adding Washington here. This is a must-watch game. If Tuesday's New York decision take a ton of penalties, Washington will destroy them. That's a good point. Will New York just run at Wilson? Arthur Meade Jr. saying penalties are going to be called. These are such good points, you guys. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Will the Rangers lose their head? They'd be assholes to do that. No problem, JEM. The Taint play today is Detroit Tigers. First 5 plus a half at plus money. Georgiev and Vanacek in. Oh, yeah. The Rangers got to. They shouldn't be if they want Peros to be fired, they should get him fired and then suit him up for this very weak Rangers team. North Ender liking Washington. Then we move to Predators at Blue Jackets. Mr. Gozer says Nashville clinched with a win and the Dallas loss in regulation to Tampa Bay. Sisson and Fabro could be in for Nash. Looks like a Nash clincher here. It does look like a Nash clincher, doesn't it? Let's move over to that spot quickly here. We have the Predators have won 2 straight and just beat Columbus 4-3 at Columbus. The Blue Jackets are playing out the string, and Nashville has to keep winning. Nashville, this total opened up at 5 with not much juice to the over. Now it's heavily juiced to the over. And, the money line for the Predators is at minus 180. That's a lot. Absolutely, that's a lot. Arthur Meade's on Predators first period. This is a must-win spot for the Predators. I'm going to put a -1 and a question mark there. We move over to Dallas Stars and Tampa, and I'm sorry we don't have more time on these games. That's my fault, and I'm sorry that I didn't spend more time capping these games. Stars have lost 4 straight, and an ugly season is about to end. The Lightning have been off since barely squeaking by the Detroit Red Wings on Sunday 2-1 after losing 1-0 the game before. Their offense is not scoring at all right now. They are simply not playing as well as they need to play. This Stars team. Let's just move over here quickly. Are the Stars just done? Let's go to the standings. Are they? I mean, that certainly look at their record and you expect them to be done, but that division is trash. The Stars are not. They have 4 games left and they're 4 points back. They've lost 4 straight. The Stars are done. The Stars are done, but it is a matchup of last year's Stanley Cup champions, and the Tampa Bay Lightning just aren't playing that well. If you get a complete game from the Stars, then you would, with Vasilevsky in goal and the Lightning not scoring, you would think this would move towards the under. And this under is so juiced to the under, it's just not worth betting, -130 to -150. Then we have Ducks Blues. Mr. Gokster says Tarasenko, Blake, Krug, and Dunn all out for the Blues. Wow. The Blues sitting in 4th spot, and they've clinched pretty much because they have 3 games in the hand on the Coyotes. Birdie says the only angle here is that Sagan might be back, or is back, and might give them a spark over in that one. You just can't back the Blues here with all those injuries. Let's get over to the injuries here. God, and I apologize for not having it all set up in advance. Let's move over to. By the way, in NHL, we're not in a terrible spot. In NHL, we're sitting 133 wins, 140 losses, but plus 2.33 units. ROI plus 0.85% because our average line is plus 116. And runners on first and third for the Reds. Oh, double play done. Okay. Come on. Here we go. 3 minutes till the big Bono and C-Mac show. I'm just taking way too long. A ton of injuries for the Blues. Look at that. What a mess. So Krug and Dunn likely off. Turnsy says, the more you talk about the Ducks, the more I like it. Birdie says, I'm on the Ducks. Bomber play of the day. Info as to why above. Spot play at a good price. Road team 16-2 last 18. Ducks 6-2 in St. Louis. Wow, and Duck money line in regulation. I've got to study that more, but the Blues have no reason to worry about the Coyotes. The money line for the Ducks here is at plus 200 and a plus 210. The Ducks have a lot to play for. That's a very interesting look. Very, very interesting look from our birdie. Then you have Golden Knights and Minnesota Wild. And the Knights need to win because they don't need to win, but the Wild are a tougher matchup than the St. Louis Blues right now by a decent margin. The Avalanche have a game in hand, and the Knights can take that from them. And then, oh my God, we have 1 minute until I got to bounce here. Oh my God. The Knights coming off that 6-5 loss at Minnesota 2 games ago. Wild have now beaten the Blues and beaten the Knights. They've won 3 of their last 5. I wonder if the Knights need to take care of business here. Put a question mark beside the Knights. I have more work to do on this NHL card. I want nothing to do with the Kings and Coyotes. You have to think that the Avalanche are going to go all out in an effort to beat the Sharks, but you just don't sit there with minus 1.5 spots at huge juiced lines. And then the Jets have everything to play for, and the Flames have nothing to play for. So if you were simply taking the teams that have everything to play for against teams that have nothing to play for, you would be on the Montreal Canadiens -1, the Nashville Predators -1, and the Winnipeg Jets -1. And that seems to make a lot of sense. That seems to make a lot of sense. That'd be a pretty good way of taking on this NHL card, and that is my expectation. Take all those teams on the -1, and then why not back the Ducks with Birdie? I've got to study that a little bit more, but that's my plan at this point. I need to put a little bit more work in NHL, and I will. Turnsy's play of the day is the Jets. So right now in NHL for me, it's the Habs -1, the Predators -1, and the Jets -1. 3 teams that all need to take care of business. And then interest in the Ducks makes a ton of sense. I've got to study the injury issues for the Blues a little more. We got to go. We have Babano and C-Mac starting right now. MLB Best Bets. Jump over there to that show. Great, great cappers. Thank you guys so much for all your hard work and insights. Leche, Halos Bookmakers!
Where's the bang bang, Preston? Come on.
I can't breathe.
Pub Sports Radio. Come find us in Southtown 101. Subscribe on YouTube and all platforms where podcasts are found.